Hello there YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bix back at it again with a continuation of our Arcanium run. Before we get into that, just wanted to remind everybody that this weekend I'm going to be testing out the new mic, trying to get it to sound good. And if I'm going to be trying to get that to work, I might as well be trying out other stuff too. And so I think I'm going to be playing other roguelikes. And I will be releasing a poll later because now that I have 120 subscribers, thank you very much by the way, I am now able to do community posts, which includes polls and stuff like that. So I was really hoping to, just try a whole bunch of different stuff. But if you guys have any recommendations on what you would like to see, you can go ahead and leave that down in the comments below, or wait for that poll and leave it down in the comments there. And I'll be keeping an eye open. I have like quite a bit of roguelikes, to be honest, because, well, I have an addiction to like stuff like that, but might have to purchase a couple of them if you guys have like overwhelming recommendations for one or the other. Otherwise, poll should be I don't know how many like poll items that I can put in there, but again, quite an array even without recommendations. So I should be able to try some stuff out there, see how that goes, and again, if you guys want to help out the channel, just swing by, listen to the videos, give some pointers on maybe what I might be doing wrong. The Back for Blood community really helped me out by figuring out stream settings that I was getting wrong for my recordings, and it's definitely helped out the production overall. Anyways, we can get back into this. This is our Drakkaw run, where Act 1 we had explosive growth, like quite literally. More or less it was all on team generation, but we also lucked into Spellweaver's Gloves and Medallion for Drakkaw, and that allowed us to get a threat for boss fight, which also gave us Warlock Mantle, really set us up here. I believe I was considering putting this Obsidian Ring on him too, because he's going to be playing a lot of Void cards, and all of the Void cards that we are playing would be giving Hex anyways, so it really just works out for us. That over Thief's Pouch, though, is going to be a little bit oof, but we're hoping to get Celeste into a good defensive position here. Anyways, you've got Spontaneous Growth. We were not very impressed with that. We're hoping to get that to an Oracle to turn that into any legendary. And what else do we got here? I mean, that's pretty much it. We need to actually drop something here to make way for Arcane Ward. Arcane Ward needs to get upgraded. I believe we have a quest. 4 more tiles in Anador, and we'll be able to get 2 upgrade abilities, which is pretty much going on Celeste so that she can, do her job a little bit better. If I take this, though, this will open up a... otherwise, if I take this, this will open up... This will also open up an Oracle, so I'm thinking that that's where we go. We go here. This is available. We can utilize that if we want to, but otherwise we start exploring over here. And we can try and get this this loot cache for 2 areas. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad. But now the purple tier 3 enemies are showing up, and so we've kind of got to more or less get our shit together, if you will. I think this is actually how we want to set this up here. We'll go ahead and we'll start. So the problem we had last video, right, is we had a great Act 1. Took on 3 shard bosses. Very nice. Got like 3 levels. Everybody's pretty stacked, honestly. We have 1 AP on Celeste, AP draw on Drakkaw, which pretty much just sets up everything that we're trying to do here, and 1 AP on Angorn, which is good because he's got Illa's Spellbook, which is causing AoE weak, and that's exactly what we're looking for here. This, I believe we want to... Let's do something like this, honestly. Anyways, where where was I? AoE weak is going to help us out, especially here, but even in other areas, that's like 4 AoE block every turn. Him getting a 5th AP would be very nice. But then we would also want to draw on him as well, which isn't necessarily like a bad thing. It's just more so a fact of how things are going right now. But like right here, he's gonna just absolutely mitigate all this damage. And Celeste is just going to like draw weird hands, I guess. There's our medallion. I actually think that we're going to double up here. So give me a double of this. This is gonna pop that. Pretty much kill him. And I can't believe that I just scuffed that up. Oh man, things never change. You give me ordering and I'll find a way to screw it up every single time. It shouldn't make too much of a difference here because, well, Angorn hasn't even gone yet, right? Okay. Again, normal battles here really shouldn't prove troublesome to us. In fact, to be honest, the fact that I don't even know where I was going with that. I already lost it. I've already worked a full day today, by the way. You're pretty much dead. We always want to copy Ritual Curse, though. I don't know if we want to put it on you, though. Put this forward. This is going to cause you to pop. Yeah, I honestly think... let's just have you start over here. Because one pop on him will pretty much be him dead. Let's go ahead, just, you know, take care of that. This is as good as done. And the reason that I wanted that is because I want Ritual Curse to double on you. Boosh. It's not really doubling, though. You know what? I bet you it's doubling the base value. Because, how does it work? Oh, it's counting. But it starts at 4. And I've, at that point, used 3 of them, which would be plus 6. But I'm dealing plus 16. Now, what I think that is we do have Obsidian Ring, which is applying 2 hex whenever we play a Void card on an enemy. That's unaffected. However, I believe it's doubling the baseline plus 4 up to 8, and then we have the plus 6 due to having played 3 already, bringing us up to 14, and then the plus 2. I'm going to just go ahead and... because I remember last video we kind of ran into a little bit of a fuckery-do with that as well, right? Anyways, hopefully that helps friend Josh get to the bottom of it. The crazy thing is that if that is the case, right? Let's just assume that that's not working as intended. That means that people have been popping off with Drakkaw, who isn't even at full power right now. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, get those going. I honestly think this damage is going to happen. We'll go this way, and then... Like, everybody has so much regen, this really doesn't matter. Like, you're dead, like, next turn, so... Whatever, whatever. Celeste is blinded, though, which is a travesty. That, however, is beautiful. And I'm... Like, what do we do here? Guess that. Guess that. Guess that. Again, fight's still, like, much slower than I would like. Celeste isn't really doing a lot of damage right now. Drakkaw is a DOT build, so it's taking us 6 turns just to kill a normal enemy. That is quite concerning at this point in the game, because I don't know if I got distracted when I was trying to mention it before. We had a very good Act 1, but then, like last video, we sort of like teetered off and didn't really have a lot of growth. Like, we got a lot of good things for us, but it didn't really turn into anything, if that makes any sense. Spiritual Halo, I usually love this card, but this team it's absolutely like terrible. Backlash, not a fan. Brace, maybe, but we'd have to upgrade it for the 2 spirit. This would be another good Moonstone Choker outlet, but the problem is that we don't really, well, one, we don't have Moonstone Choker, but this would be something we put in our pocket and just hope that it turns out good. And versus certain Akhans, there's lots of multi-strike, and so having Brace would be very good for the purpose of combined with Angorn's AoE weak, and with Resilience, it will pretty much just mitigate everything. We become kind of a pseudo, what am I trying to say? A pseudo Shinzo at that point. Do I like it more than 40 gold? I think I do. We have so much shit that we gotta upgrade, though. Let's get that... Oh, well, there's our shrine. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. We are going to up-tier an ability, because we do not want unnatural growth. Scusi? Spontaneous growth. Oh, my lord. Okay. Okay. Oh, these... Yeah, these are the light legendaries right here, pretty much. Laser Beam is a great damage outlet. We do have Angorn, so we can kind of set that up. However, I believe we only have Solar Fischl Renewal, and none of our ultimates are yellow, so it's not like we can set that up. But even then, if looking at Celeste deck, right, like chances are we're going to have 2 in our hand, right? Especially if we give her another draw. So, meaning one of these and sorry, what the laser beam? Yeah, laser beam. So at that point, it's going to deal 18 for 4. It's not very good. Could have 3, in which case it's going to be. Oh wait a minute. We have light. We have light power. So it's going to be dealing around 12. 24 for 4 is acceptable, and it's in melee. She might get 3 or 4, counting Angorn. I actually don't think that we can really go into Laser Beam, which is unfortunate. I have never actually had a build where I've run Laser Beam. A little bit of deep lore for you guys. And that upgrades to 12, which would be 15 per. At that point, it starts getting good, but again, we already have so many upgrade targets. Holy Bulwark upgraded is... I honestly don't even know if that's necessary, come to think of it. Like, we're already so defensive. Like, obviously, yes, it would be great if we could also stack Immune on here, which would... So pretty much Angorn takes care of the multi-strikes. This would take care of like huge AoE chunks, which also happen especially with certain Akhans. And then we even have shielding on top of that because, you know, we have Celeste. And with all those things combined, we're like super tanky and will never die. Maybe it's still the pick just for that purpose. But again, like my main problem here is that we have like no fucking damage, and fights, even though they're secured, are so damn slow. We're not gonna finish this video in this. We're not gonna finish this run in this video. I think Flash Bomb might be the play, simply because, well, it deals 12 or 15 in an area. That's quite significant. That's a lot of damage. And then, of course, we might be able to get some sort of on hits going, but currently not really. But this is a very good outlet for our damage here. Even if we only hit 2 people with this, that's 30 for 3, which is 1 for 10. That's the legendary rate. And then it blinds so that enemies are less likely to ult us. Ults are what's actually going to kill us, so giving us another turn to maybe prepare for stuff like that sounds pretty good to me. I'm thinking it's Flash Bomb, but probably, honestly, the correct answer is Holy Bulwark. We could shift Angorn over completely because he has, like, no cards currently in his deck. Like, these could become, like, better block cards that are yellow. These could become better heals that are yellow. But... and then we could maybe get Laser Beam to work. But that's gambling on, like, too much shit, in my opinion. We're going to take Flash Bomb because it's going to help us push fights a little bit better. It is hella expensive, though, I'll tell you that. Oh, I guess it was worth mentioning that Lightwell is retained. Maybe we go for Ulti Plus. I'm not really feeling that. But if we do that and maybe Brace? I don't know. I'm trying to get this down. It might honestly be good to grab Arcane Consultation, simply because of the fact that we have so much regen. We might as well shuffle through. Which honestly would have made Laser Beam better. I don't think we actually need these light flash. Like, the problem is that the light flashes do allow us to get spirit, faith. Otherwise, we're relying on pretty much these 4 cards right here to do that. Maybe I get rid of Heal Plus, honestly. We'll try this for a bit. It's an Elemental Shrine, please, baby. Nope. Okay. Empowerment's absolutely useless to us, seeking for a better chance of upgraded abilities. If we keep running into abilities that aren't upgraded, that we want upgraded, this would definitely make our drafting a lot better. And then, of course, Elemental Power, like, we don't have red. So, obviously, we're not going to take that. Seeking is the way to go here. And then, of course, here, pretty much just going to ignore everything. We might take this event here. My only problem is that if we take this event and this is a battle, we lose this campsite, which we might need. Otherwise, let's unlock this up over here. Okay. I'm actually feeling this. You have access to a stun, but so long as we have, what is it, I can't even think about it. Faith. As long as we have faith at the time, it's not going to be a big deal. Oh, Jesus. We should do that, though. Liking that. Yeah, it's turns like this that I don't like with Celeste. Like, jeez. Okay, let's do this correctly this time, alright? First off, I'm going to use Corruption. I'm going to use Twisted Bolt. Cursed Ritual. Lost Medallion. And then we might as well, might as well use the AP, I think. So we'll go ahead, we'll use that, and then we cleanse. All good. We're about to get stunned here. So we're going to want to make sure that we have a ton. Actually, this is interesting. Then, of course, we're going to have a lot of faith, which is going to be used on us. Yeah, that's pretty good. Copy a ritual curse. Soul pierce that way. Pop him. He's dead. We got to start working on this guy here. So we'll do that. Oh! Are you dead? You might be dead. Man, this guy's gonna get away. Because you're stunned. It's a little annoying. Now I'm a little mad. Alright. No, maybe we can actually at least get to the boss rush. Black Seed. You know, I wonder if this gets scaled by nature power. I can't imagine that it does. Huh. Shatter seems pretty... Shatter Plus, even, seems pretty dang good, to be honest. We were just talking about how, what is it, Laser Beam would need us to have, like, 4 light cards in hand, which is rather unlikely in order for us to deal, you know, this amount of damage. And we just deal that much damage, and that's not even counting Arcana power. So this is a 60 execute. Oh my lord, that is pretty good. And the fact that we're putting a high cost attack card in our hand, in our deck, I feel much better about, considering the fact that we also have what is it, Convocation, the one that gives us faith every turn. So I don't feel like we're actually like losing momentum if we just spend a whole turn on Shatter Plus. We're actually going to get rid of Holy Armor. I think we're also going to get rid of Arcane Ward for now. I really want to go back into that, but maybe we actually have to. Have to have Arcane Ward for now. I love how, like, like here it says defeat 3 enemies, but when you hover over it in the map, it says defeat 3 villains to win. Like, we're just up here assuming that these guys are villains. We're in their house, dude. That's a little rude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can maybe chill just a smidge. I actually think I want a Soul Pierce. Yeah, buddy. And then you know what? I'll corrupt this guy over here. Like, yeah, I know that the Obsidian Ring is after the double, so that's why this is 10. But that makes perfect sense. Something's up with Ritual Curse. And I don't like it. So we'll do that, and then why not just play that there? Gonna have to be a little bit careful about Armored Spartacon, though. Oh, this is actually quite good, because that'll delay the stun by a turn. Then this will pretty much solve all my problems. Yeah. We'll go ahead with, we'll do that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll Chastise. I think we can do the Arcane Knowledge. Just like seeing how everything's playing out here. You know what? Copy Hexing. We do need to find a day to be dealing damage here, though. That is for sure. You're blocking yourself with faith, so let's just keep you healthy. Oh look, there's Shatter. He's dead. Well. Okay, now I gotta think about how I want to do this here. I think it's this. This. Did I order that wrong? I must have. I think we could have killed this elusive. We're gonna miss lethal by like 4 here. Not like it matters too much. Madness. Consume up to 5 hex on enemy, deal 5 damage per hex consumed. We're not really a hit build, unfortunately. That also makes vulnerable here pretty bad with the leech. And then Demonic Claw, deal 8 void damage, apply for weak. It's relatively usable. It's like a better block card than, what am I trying to say? His Demonic Shield, but just barely, and it costs more. Which we want to generally play all the cards that we get in our hand, because a majority of them are going to be Ritual Curses. So I don't know if necessarily taking Demonic Claw is the way to go, but it is a card that we play on enemies, which means that their hex is going to pop more, so that does make it a little bit more appetizing. I think we'll pick that up. I like that better than 40 gold. We got a trainer here, which is going to really help out. How close are we? We need 3 more tiles? Come on, man. Anyways, we're going to have to take this Elite Assault battle to hit this quest here to get our... Let's go ahead and do this while I'm talking. Or maybe the correct move is actually to... Yeah. Anyways. We want to get that, that loot cache so that we can get our last item. Hopefully it'll be good. At this point, it can very well be legendary stuff. There's even a free item over here if we want to do this defense battle, which, again, we're, like, super good at. So, let's just keep chugging. Now, armor plating is a little bit annoying, but it shouldn't really be that, like, influential here. 60 damage. Unfortunately, I cannot bring you down to execute range. I still think that that's, like, pretty damn good. Although, using Arcane Ward with Holy Armor will full block here. Then we just get Shatter on the next time. That might be the play here. Go ahead, we'll do that. I'll even skip Conviction. You know what? We are gonna get bopped here. I don't think that there's much that we can do about it. Soften it a bit. More concerned about you. Okay, Light Bomb's pretty good timing. Let's keep that for next turn, actually. Then we need to focus this guy down. Soul Pierce is perfect for that. This should actually be quite alright. You're suffering for sure here. We have our faith now, though. There's Shatter. If I hit you with 60, you'll be close? Kinda close? I don't think it's quite gonna be enough. Oh, he gained the frickin' shield. You piece. Gonna be one off, that's fine. We'll just, there's actually not much we can do about that, except this. Now we've been building up our ritual curses for the double on this man. And it's pretty much done. was a little spicy. Apply 1 poison whenever an enemy hits you isn't really doing it for me. Wraith Blade can be up-tiered into a Anador Legendary, which is very significant. We can get toughness out of that. Can we? I believe we get toughness out of that. Free resilience. Keep block. What can we get out of that? Let's make sure about that. Shield into damage would certainly help. Cards costing 1 extra, but restoring 1 health whenever you play them. Or 6 health whenever you play them. Maybe. Could be Eternal Lantern. Very interesting. We don't use Vulnerable. Twisted Staff we might be able to do something with. We don't crit. 3 Resilience is something. Hunter's Cloak is pretty interesting. We could get something good out of that. Could also end up being Commander's Horn, which would be pretty feels bad, man. What do we got here? Rites of Light turns into regen. See, now this is exactly what we needed for Laser Beam. To just straight up be able to put light cards that retain into somebody's hand. Another cleanse might be good. But if we're looking for another cleanse, I'm almost feeling Holy Aura. Because then Angorn will have a retain cleanse, and then we can just cleanse every single turn. And that pretty much frickin' solves everything. I think it's this, for sure. We'll equip that. Angorn wants more AP, especially since we're about to give him another 3 cost. Or a 3 cost, I suppose is the right term. Rejuve. Rejuve actually lets us get... I'm looking at our average AP cost here, and it might be a Rejuve that we get rid of here. We might need another 2 cost in our deck. Look at that. Oh, I can't do that because this is here. Wah. Double Shadowbark Treant is a little annoying. Shouldn't be too much of a concern though. Keeping an eye on the time. Yeah, we might be able to just set up just before the boss rush here. Depending on how quickly we can do that, you might get some bonus footage here and we just go ahead and do the boss rush. Getting blind on everybody right off the bat sounds pretty good to me. We're going to block here. Solar Flare here, I know he resists. Just trying to take care of him because yellow enemies are currently the bane of our existence. And I guess we just start working on you, really. We'll pop you. That's pretty good. Oh, look at that. We got our quest. Got the upgrade abilities. We'll get our loot cache. We'll be set up pretty damn good. Okay, if we do 60 damage to you, you'll be down to 37 out of still not quite there. Not quite there. We need to figure out how to do some damage to you. I think Demonic Claw 30? 30, 30, 30? Still not quite. We'll do this. Because why not? That'll do it. There you go. Go ahead, hit that, because we're just going to, you know, get cleanse anyways. Yeah, Eternal Lantern on Drakkaw here, I think it would be dangerous, but oh god, would it be sweet. Because then after our first ultimate, we would only need to get 2. And the pacing on that would mean that we'd be able to get it absolutely every other turn. Maybe that's a bit greedy, and we don't need to do that. Maybe it is supposed to be Angorn. Intriguing. Might as well get this out here, I think. Because we're likely going to have a medallion next turn since we haven't seen it yet. Yep, there it is. Get that out there. Arcane Ward and Arcane Ward would have actually given us Ward next turn. Anyways. I was kind of hoping that you'd run out of Hex so that I could get the double on you. But it shouldn't really matter too much. I mean, this is done. Blinding Flash. Holy Wrath is what we've been looking for. Holy shit. And it's Holy Wrath Plus. Okay. Okay, finally. Something that actually deals some goddamn damage. I think we drop Arcane Ward at this point. It's a blue? Come on, nah. Power's pretty good. Poison Shard? Actually, we can hold up. No, it's not Poison Shard, it's Snake Fang that was bugged. Reduce the cost of a random retain card in your hand by 1 AP at the end of the turn. That's pretty good for Celeste, because then Lightwell gets significantly cheaper. Otherwise, we don't really have a lot of retain cards. So that wouldn't necessarily... Oh, Holy Nova. Add Investment is currently looking the best here. Otherwise, reduce the cost of the first range card you play each turn by 1 AP is quite significant on Drakkaw. It's significant on... well, just about everybody, to be honest. Because it's going to hit Solar Fissure, which, I mean, would sort of negate the whole fact that you're, you know, not getting Fury off the 1 AP cost, but you at least get 3 extra Fury there. It'd work on Cyclone, which is, you know, we just got it there for the Dispel here. Here it would hit pretty much all of Drakkaw's attacks because he doesn't really have a lot of melee. I don't even... does he have melee? I think he does, actually. One of his lifesteal cards. And then here it would hit Holy Wrath and Flash Bomb. But it could also hit Light Flash for just free, free Faith. I feel like that's technically the best, but for our team, probably Add Investment's the best. Because then we can drop all of Celeste's defense. And then just count on Lightwell being there for free whenever she absolutely needs it. And for that purpose, the items, I'm not feeling Dragon's Breath anymore, give me power. So that the one turn where she gets her payout, we can just deal more damage. And we've got 2 upgrades. Claim that reward. What are cards that we are using that needs to be upgraded? Conviction being cheaper. Absolutely. Let's just keep looking though, just in case I absolutely forget something. Flash bomb being better. That's about it. Now that we've given up on Tanky Celeste, because we're going into damage, we don't even really need to like consider getting Arcane Ward. It's not really doing it for us. We've got our Faith payout, so we don't need Inner Spirit. Arcane Consultation is definitely a consideration due to the fact that we'd be able to just draw through, and since Angorn's always given us regen, the 3 health cost doesn't even really do anything to us. But we'll take Conviction, because that being cheaper is good for us. And I'm honestly going to do a Flash Bomb, because that going up to 18 is ridiculous. Okay. It's too bad we're not in Uzir. We could get some... Oh! That's an Anador. Maybe we still want that, though. I was hoping that that was in Uzir, because you get a good power relic there. I'm sitting here wondering what the heck we're going to do. Yeah, I definitely don't think that we're going to get through Boss Rush. Sorry about that. I don't think that there's really anything else that we need to upgrade, so we might as well just, you know, take this Elite Assault Battle and get this Forge. Just work on our infrastructure, if you will. Brood Sentinel and Armored Spider Gaunt is pretty scary, but we can at least see exactly how our damage is stacking up here. Ho! Brood Sentinel up to his usual bullshit. Oh, I still have a heal in here? Fortunately, Holy Wrath will have to hit the second time around. And I'm honestly, I'll take the stun. This guy hitting for more than we have life does not feel good to me. Probably should have taken a look at that. The passive. We're still fine though. I'm not too concerned. Get you ready to pop. I like that that grays out now after he's been hit. And we'll do that. Looks good to me. Start clocking this man out. It's gonna look weird, but I'm feeling it. Is there a smaller hit that I can hit you with that I actually care about? Demonic Claw, maybe. Reflect that. Otherwise, I was almost willing to take that. And I was like, maybe let's just chill a bit. Just a smidgen. Okay, you could use some healing. But not necessarily now. So I'm kind of afraid to do any of this stuff to you. Just go ahead, hold that for now. Hold that thought. We won't. We will. Oh man, here we are. I mean, no shenanigans required. He's just dead. Beautimus. And here I think we want to... We're honestly kind of in a little bit of a scuff situation here. What's our hand? Likely 2 shockwaves and a shatter. Let's, I mean, we might as well get that going. That stun was just brutal. I undercounted my AP. I guess we're just going to do 60 damage to this man. Alright. Now the ritual curses are back. Gain 8 shield, but reduce your redraw by one card at the start of each turn. We might even be able to utilize that, but I almost think not. Wood Chime is actually quite good for us, except for the fact that we're already healing a lot. If we weren't in this setup, and we were missing either Angorn or Celeste, Wood Chime would be very nice with how often we're popping ultimates. Honestly, Templar Oxblade on you might be able to get rid of Vanguard Helm. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Get rid of Vanguard Helm, Templar Oxblade. It's basically like 5 free backlash, which is something, as opposed to just being a little bit tankier. It's my consideration at least. Otherwise, Priest Battle Guard, but we already have a purple that we're looking to up tier. So this really doesn't do much to us. Unless, of course, we could get... Do we have 2 oracles? Wish we could view the map itself. Maybe we take this. After all, why shouldn't I have it? Harden. There we go. Harden is pretty damn good. Jagged Shield is also a consideration. I don't know, this is all very weird, to be honest. But Harden being able to apply shield, that's better than his current shield. Like this 8 already is better than Brambleskin. Like we lose the 3 backlash, but again, we're not really concerned about that. Harden is just such a good Angorn card. This is bread and butter Angorn. I don't think I could be considered sane if somebody found out that I skipped past Harden. We're going to hit up this forge, take a look at what's in here. Trunk Splitter, not really good for us. 8 shield whenever you deal 20 or more damage once. Like, not really. Jade Oracle, possibly, actually. So Jade Oracle would allow us to block all the hex that we're dealing on Drakkaw, but I don't think that that's actually good because we have access to, like, so much cleanse. I don't think that he, like, if he's taken one turn of hex in the last 20 threat, like, you know, this last, from 10 threat to 26 threat, it's because, like, we purposefully let it happen, and he was full blocked anyways. It's not like we're having trouble blocking him. It's not like we're having trouble cleansing him. Even when we're popping off his ultimate twice in a turn, like, we don't care. So I really don't feel Jade Oracle because of the fact that it's going to shut off Angorn, who is part of our mitigation strategy. Trunk Splitter, we're just not doing enough for Trunk Splitter to actually do anything, and not the same thing with Juggernaut. Like, this is all, like, bad, really. Now, Nature's Might. Now we're finally getting there. Nature's Might could really pop off here. A Tome of Clarity would be pretty good, too. Now that Angorn has 5 AP, Tome of Clarity would make sure that he's actually able to, like, get the cards that he wants to play. Otherwise, I'm also feeling Nature's Might. Like, honestly, these are both good. We might even pick both of these up. Like, why the fuck not? Ornate Quiver, even, like, just saving AP now. I'm not even sure that we need Cloth Shoulders. So we might be getting rid of Cloth Shoulders for Nature's Might on Celeste. And Tome of Clarity on Angorn. Or the other way around, even. Yeah, I think we're buying those. Take off Cloth Shoulders for now. Let's try Nature's Might. Or you know what we actually could do? Maybe the last video, just for the last video, we just fucking pop off Defense Celeste just because we can. That would be horrible as far as time though. Holy shit. Vanguard Helm can become Tome of Clarity. I'm feeling good about that. How does this have a camp? That's so weird. Like, the one time where we, like, spawned the event on the hazard, like, kind of made sense. But the fact that it would just spawn a hazard on a camp? I don't know how to feel about that. Excuse me? If it's this late, I want to choose my artifact. But we're also wrapping up, and I want to upgrade 2 things on Celeste if we're going to try some stupid shit. So I guess we just, Oh my god. Alright. Oh, this might be good. think let me take the coif. Give me this void shrine. I kind of like dispelling all enemies. Just looking at my options here. We have one oracle. Okay, up tier my artifact. Any of these purples? Eternal Lantern. Oh, frick. The one time I actually didn't want to see you. I mean, honestly, it's the most useful thing here, so we'll take it. Otherwise, don't we have a trainer here? I want to upgrade cards, but we could also just use these camps for that. So if we're using camps for that, maybe we take this these card piles. Well, we would take the card piles because they can give us legendary, but we can't get greens anymore, so I think we're actually kind of scuffed on the whole, like, defensive Celeste thing. Not necessarily. God, this is so weird. We won't have enough money to buy anything here. We kind of scuffed ourselves on that already. What is here? Arcane Barrage, Zap. Zap is kind of good. Rocket Jump's pretty good for what the bullshit that we're trying to do. So I think we buy that. We buy Zap. And that doesn't become Draw 2 anymore, does it? Become Teleport, which is eh. Okay, so I think we do that. I think I might take one card pile. One of these. And then we spend the rest at the capital. Give me Celeste. Boomerang Toss. Perfect. And then another heal. We could use it. Okay. Really doing some fricked up shit now. We want to upgrade one chosen card. That one card that we're going to upgrade, I believe, is Arcane Ward, because that's the most important for us. For the 2 ward. Okay, now it's Cataclysm. So we're going to come up here, upgrade a card. We also don't have Moonstone Choker, but we could get it. Boomerang's already been upgraded. I don't know why I'm looking for that. So we want Brace. And we're pretty much just praying for Moonstone Choke. Why do you look green? Why does it look like we can afford this? Because we could afford it before? I'm guessing so. It doesn't update. Okay. So we're going to take Arnox, because we really don't care. We do DOTs for the most part. So, like, who cares if she has the reflect damage, because she can't reflect Hex, right? Let's actually get this set up. I still kind of like Flash Bomb, not going to lie. Lightwell's important. I would almost say these shockwaves are important too. Conviction is important. Okay, let's just get rid of everything right now. Conviction's important. Boomerang toss is important. I like Flash Bomb. I would still say that Holy Wrath currently is important. Rocket Jump is important. Brace, Arcane Ward. Like, even these heals, technically, that's so weird. It's because the heals are going to give us 6 block as well. More, actually. We don't care about Stormcast Pendant, because we got to put on Ceremonial Coif. Eternal Lantern's also obviously not good. Can we work in the Cloth Shoulders? Nature's Might is kind of important. Is it better than Adept Vestment? I think that we can drop Adept Vestment for Cloth Shoulders. The only other thing is maybe what we actually do. The only thing is that we have that payout, so I don't necessarily know if I want to take weak. You know what would be really frickin' sick? That card that reduces the AP cost of one of our cards right now would be pretty sick. Yes, my apologies. 2 more cards. Is it 2 Shockwaves? Like, Shockwave isn't that bad. It's 10 damage forward, blocks for 6+. Maybe. Inner Spirit I would love to take, but we would want that to be upgraded as well. So maybe we can pick this up, especially if we get Moonstone Choker. Chef's kiss. But we're not there yet. The Shatter is also very nice for taking care of the side enemies too. But, oh man, like we're really scuffing this up for this idea. But I'm liking it. We honestly might just do bonus footage. It's already been like an hour and 14. We might fight these bosses. But versus Holy Armor? No, we're honestly feeling Shockwave. This is interesting. And of course we're going to reflect damage due to Nature's Might. I just don't know if this is going to be enough. But Cloth Shoulders is going to go into Ceremonial Coif, as will Ward, if we can get that running. You need... If we somehow level, you need a draw. For sure. Looking at you, do we drop Obsidian Ring? Like, we could drop Obsidian Ring to put on Eternal Lantern, or we could drop Obsidian Ring to put on Stormcast Pendant. Honestly, we're eventually going to drop Medallion, and I feel like Eternal Lantern's going to help us much more. In fact, is Medallion honestly helping us more than Stormcast Pendant is right now? I mean, kinda. I think it is doing better than that. This is just +2 Hex. It's not really that good for us. Let's just go ahead and take a look at you. Make sure that you're looking good. Maybe you take Flash Bomb now. You were talking shit about Angorn earlier. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get away with doing a Flash Bomb. Alright, let's do it. My only regret is that we're actually not going to level. Alright, Celeste, let's do this. Why do you keep drawing this turn 1? You're embarrassing me. We're not being attacked. So we'll actually just go ahead and deal the damage. No reason not to. Holy Nova can wait for now. Start building up this stuff. You start putting that weak out. Oh, we have power here for no reason now. This is actually a tad bit problematic. Okay. I might have scuffed that one up. I still think that this is okay though. Or you know what? Just go ahead and pop that. Boosh, it's done. Alright. It's going to deal 9 damage to us. We want to keep Lightwell for a better turn. We're probably going to have to wait for Cleanse to come up though. So that might actually be the play still. And I'm going to get a lot of block. Okay, well there's that Cleanse that I said that we weren't going to get. Making me a frickin' liar again, are you? I'd love to use Solar Fissure, but it's not really worth it. Ordering. Get that weak out there. She's pretty much going to deal no damage. Probably should have copied the Ritual Curse. I'm getting sloppy here. Wait a minute. Oh, I still generate Fury from blue cards. Weird. It's a little cheeky, but I'm about it. You know what? Protect Chicken. Because that's going to give a ton. And now we're maxed out. We should get her payout card now. There it is. I mean, that's... You've got 2 ultimates right now? Or 2, I'm honestly wondering if it's best to have her shuffle in here, kill this. Good lord. Okay. Or let's try and get a little bit of good ordering here for once. And then we're shuffling in, so we should get her payout again soon. That one we can deal with. Son of a bitch. Why would they do this to me? Well, this fight's pretty much over. And again, this is pretty much just Drakkaw doing Drakkaw things. And, ooh. Do you go into stasis when I hit you with this? That's a good question. First off, let's cleanse. Secondly, harden plus. I don't think there's really much else that we can do for you, so we're gonna head over. No, you should use your rocket jump to get here. Hit that conviction. And bop this fool twice. Okay, so I want to know if popping you with this is going to cause you to, because it's damage, right? And I believe Blight. It doesn't say what it does, but it technically deals damage, right? Like, this would actually be bad for us to test, but we're going to do it. Okay, yeah, that works. And so that damage actually isn't going to happen, but, I mean, like, next turn you're dead. But that was good to know. Oh. Okay, that's working correctly. Yeah, this is pretty much over. There's the Moonstone Choker, boys. I'm liking it. Okay. I'm actually wondering if that's better. Because, I mean, right now, it goes into ward. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that that's necessarily better. Not with the setup that we have, right? We'd need much more. We do have Inner Spirit, but we're likely not going to upgrade it. Like, maybe we would upgrade it here simply because, you know, we've got the money and nothing else to do with it. But otherwise, really, not really. I mean, we'll take it just for the lulz. But, okay. If we get offered one item, this gets ridiculous. Another Shatter Plus. That's hilarious. Collapse. Interesting. I like Smoke Bomb Plus on Drakkaw. I like it a lot, actually. You piece. You piece. Shakir Shield. I was debating if that was good for us. It almost is. Honestly. Huh. Hmm. I mean, might as well pick it up, right? Ancestral Bulwark. Not actually good for us in this setup. 2 shield per AP spent. I mean, especially after we're about to grab or put on Twisted Staff. Not very good for us. And even if we rolled into our hit here, we wouldn't be able to afford it, so not worth it. All this is pretty garbo, except for maybe Communion, actually. That allow, I don't know, it would just allow Angorn to help Celeste do what she's doing, but what Celeste is doing isn't our win condition, so, it's not really doing it for me. Otherwise, if we get Calamity on the same turn that we do a double ult, then that's quite significant. But, I mean, I suppose, like, it's better than a lot of other cards that we have in our deck right now. So we could take this. There's no reason not to. And that's Calamity Plus, which is already upgraded, and therefore costs 1 less. Come on, man. Come on, man. Alright. Okay, I'm thinking for the lulz. We need Arcane Consultation. Upgraded. That is huge. And if I could, I would double it. Oh, we are so close to actually popping this off. And it makes me sad. It legitimately makes me sad. What do we get rid of here? Is it honest? I think it's honestly Lightwell, because there's no way we're actually going to be able to frickin' play that with Twisted Staff on. And I think Claw Shoulders goes for this. Man, we're just so frickin' close. Purple Akhan is a base race, but that's perfectly fine because, well, we're relatively good at that, especially with our cleanses. He likes to deal a lot of hex with the hands, and so he's basically trying to clock you out while he's got indestructible minions on the left and right lane. They got toughness, so they're not indestructible, but pretty much it's I get minions, you don't. Yeah. Cannot be affected by debuffs is fine, but it's not a purge, right? So the 4 void damage whenever we play a card is a little oof, but I think this is how we want to be right here. Let's go. Okay. We got a pretty shitty hand for Celeste there. She also, technically, we should have given her 1 draw if we were to try something like that. So we kind of scuffed her up, to be perfectly honest. I'll get you ready to pop some hex. That's perfectly fine. Let's use your AP to get you over here and protect the chicken, as is your duty. Yeah, this could legitimately get a bit spicy. Oh my good lord, this could go terribly wrong. And it kind of went terribly wrong. Why didn't we discard a card? It's a little weird, but okay. We don't need to use Healing Rain this turn. And in fact, if anything, I think we can more so get away with something like this. Oh yeah, I think I just scuffed that. I wasn't paying attention to that at all. Was that dealing 5? No. Yeah, to be honest, I think I may have scuffed the run by trying to do this here. But we're going to be able to start ramping on Akhan, so maybe we'll be okay, but it's going to be pretty fucking tight, to be honest. I can't afford to do that. Let's not use that if we don't have to. And then, of course, we need to get healed up. But yeah, whenever he puts on the Void cards, we're going to be in big trouble because we don't have a lot of life. And we really don't have the AoE block either, and there it is. There it is. Maybe Communion was the right idea, huh? I think the best move here is to do absolutely nothing. And I want you to attack this way, please. Thank you. Can't be affected by debuffs, are you kidding me? Well, alright, I guess we're, hitting you then. Or do we want to keep Medallion going? That might be the case. Oh, jeez. right. Well, that was a bit heartbreaking. Guess we fucked around and found out. Not paying attention to which phase he was on and dealing like 16 damage to ourselves definitely didn't help out there. Celeste didn't actually have all the pieces to do what we were trying to do, which is really quite unfortunate because I must have been blinded and I went ahead and did it anyways. If we had a little bit more draw, then we really could have popped that off, but then we still would have gotten up against, you know, the 4 void damage a turn, and then it would have had to have been like pretty good like yellow cards in order to block for us, or we would have to get set up. If we were set up, that would be a little bit better, but honestly, that was just rough. Then, of course, being one of the forms that cannot have DOTs placed on them, that would have been a lot of hex that we would have been able to ramp up. Probably wouldn't have changed the fight at all. Not taking communion earlier. I know that that was offered, and obviously that would have been like huge for us. That was probably, I would say that of anything, that was probably like the big thing, because I still believe that if Celeste would have gotten set up, which she just died too early due to a couple of bad hands because she needed the one draw. If she would have had the one draw, then her hands would have been more reliable. We would have been able to play 2 cards or possibly 3 cards. And that's the advantage of having Twisted Staff, especially with a bunch of high cost cards like, well, she had originally. But, anyways, not really salty about that one. More so just, again, upset because, like, I don't think that putting more damage on Celeste would have solved that fight. Like, it would have helped, right? But she was dead on turn 3. Yeah, just again, purple Akhan is a face race, and we were slow, which we kind of knew going up into that. But I was just hoping to stay online long enough to actually, you know, like do something about it. But we kind of fell apart there. Anyways, unfortunately, we lost that run. Hopefully, it wasn't too heartbreaking for you guys, but feel free to leave any feedback you want down in the comments below. Any misplay alerts, questions, concerns, comments, and I'll get to them. And until next time, I'll catch you guys around.